And Mr. Mukherjee, there's another thing about which he mentioned in his speech. He said that the historical context behind the Ram Mandir movement, he said it was never about opposing any particular community, but it was about awakening the country's self. And he described India's struggle against foreign invaders who had destroyed its temples and cultural symbols as an effort to weaken the nation's core identity. He also noted that the long duration of the Ram Mandir movement stemmed from forces that opposed building a temple at the birthplace of Lord Ram, which he sees as central to India's identity. Now, how would you really see? He's saying that we were not opposing anybody, but it was a movement which was, fought and started for India's self pride.
I haven't heard of this long struggle for asserting your identity via the Ram temple. It's a recent version. Prime Minister also said 500 years of struggle, etc. In the 1980s, nobody was talking about it. Neither the RSS nor the Jansangh or anybody. It becomes a issue, big issue. It is made into a popular issue, deliberately made into with the Rath Yatra of Advani, etc. To create a kind of historical memory, which promotes hatred. There was no 1,000 years or 500 years of quarrel over the Ram temple. I don't know whether you know the history of it or not, that right next to the Ram temple, there is the Hanuman, there is a platform. What do they call that platform? Anyway, a neighboring...
About the Ram Chabutra.
That's Ram Chabutra, right. There was a temple nearby, the Mahant of whom was accused that earlier there was a masjid here and now a temple has been written, so case was filed. I think it was the Hanuman Gadi temple, right, which is nearby. And the Mahant thought that the best way to fight is to be aggressive and make a counter claim, because he thought that they are going to lose the case. This is all happening in the 19th century, 1870s, around that period. 1858. It is happening around that period, right? And then what he does is he makes a claim on the Ram Chabutra and says, not inside, not under the mosque, nothing, that here is where Ram was born and this should be our temple. And in the 1870s, for the first time, the British say, again, look at the link with the colonial and these guys. It is in British records, it appears that there is a belief among the Hindus that Ram was born in that Ram Chabutra. 1870, so no 1,000 years, no 500 years, etc. So I'm saying this is how you create a memory.
Absolutely.
But Neeluji, it is not even clear among historians where Ayodhya is. The present Ayodhya used to be called Saket earlier. One king many centuries earlier decided to call it Ayodhya to link himself with Ram. Everybody, as you know, all the gods, all the rulers want to link direct linkage with Ram. So he called this place Ayodhya. Now you are claiming, and the Ramayana, the Valmiki Ramayana, was not even written as history. It was not written as religion. It was written as kavya. It's a poem. It's an epic. And you are making this ridiculous claim that you know the exact spot where Ram was born, and that you have to, and you have to sort of make it independent from.
It's very clear how obnoxious these claims are. We've been discussing, but does this statement of Mohan Bhagwat look like an attempt to denigrate the entire freedom struggle? Because another statement, I'm just going to read out what he said. He's emphasized that India's true independence goes beyond just political freedom and material progress. And then he says that country's economic and social development must be built on a solid foundation of cultural and spiritual revival. So obviously, I mean, what is he trying to say by making a statement like this?
You're absolutely right. This has been a major project of the RSS and the Hindu communalists to deny the Indian national movement, because they want to occupy the nationalist space. They are the ones who are nationalists. No, you and I and so many of us are all anti-national, right? Now, how do you occupy the nationalist space when you are not part of the national movement at all, which created the Indian state? So therefore, you deny that national movement. You make fun of their leaders. You create entire websites where you run down, for example, Nehru. There is a website called Dismantling Nehru. Under 97 blunders of Nehru. Then you allow your top leaders, including members of parliament, to praise the killer of the Mahatma Gandhi. And nothing happens to her. She remains a member of parliament. Now, these are all efforts to disrupt, downgrade, to make fun of the actual national movement, because they were cooperating with the British during that time. 1942, the biggest struggle of it for India's independence, the Quit India movement. When the Quit India movement was happening, 10,000 people were killed. All the big leaders, Gandhi, Nehru, etc., are in jail. The RSS and the Muslim League were joining hands. The Hindu Mahasabha and the Muslim League were joining hands to form governments and cooperate with the British. So naturally, they have to now rewrite the history. That is why they are so much after rewriting history textbooks all the time, because anybody who reads history will realize what their role is. So you rewrite history, you wipe out the national movement altogether, and all the progress that happens because of some spiritual thing inside. All the business, all the economy, all the temples of modern India that Nehruji built, the dams and the steel plants are product of some spiritual thing. I really would love to know what that spiritual thing is.
Stay ahead with our cutting edge news app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.